What's up, YouTube? Glad to be here, and welcome to week 5 of the WPF. That is the World Pokemon Federation, and we have a match against Corey right now. Corey and the Gateway Gardevoirs. This is a conference, or division match, sorry. So it is pretty important, and I'm a little sick right now, so sorry if I'm not sounding right or start coughing halfway through. But, you know, I was really hoping he wouldn't bring Darmanitan and Kyurem Black, but unfortunately he did. It's going to be a little difficult to tell which one's got the scarf, but we'll get there. Past that, I did not bring Infernape or Fortress. I was going to bring Fortress, and I was really like, you know what? Rhyperior's got rocks covered, Greninja's got spikes covered, we got this. But anyway, let's jump right into it. I am ready, and this is going to be fun. Alright, so Corey's going to issue this challenge, and he's going to start with Mavis the Cresselia. I did not expect that at all. I actually ran down the timer to almost 0 trying to pick my my lead. We would go to Dragalge. I figured, you know what, I'll just get heavy damage on whatever he wants to start with. But he starts with this Cresselia, and I really didn't expect him to go Calm Mind off the bat. I was hoping he'd go for like Psyshock or something. But we go for the Draco, and that, oh my god, that does not do as much as I hoped it would after a max special attack, modest specs Dragalge hit. But he's gonna get some lefty recovery in there, and I didn't want to keep Dragalge, and I wasn't about to let him get free Calm Minds up. Come on. We're gonna go into Emily. And I gave her the Toxic because I was like, okay, Cresselia's gonna be here. My best bet is just to get it poisoned early on and have that leech out. But he does go for the Moon Valley, so Emily doesn't care. I should have kept Puddin' Pie in here, because Puddin' Pie got the job done really well, and I loved that one. But he's gonna switch into Bad App. I get it, because the little P's are the Pokemon buddy, it's $, so it's like badass. I thought it was funny. But our Toxic is gonna miss, and that's super unfortunate, because I did not like this Pangoro being here. I mean, honestly, I saw it come out and I was like, whatever, we got this. We're just gonna go into Mr. Magoo. And he's gonna hit us with with that knockoff, which is not gonna do too much, which is perfectly okay. He can't knock off my Megastone. Sidebar, I can never decide what to name my Sableye. I feel like nothing is appropriate for a Sableye. I can't think of anything. Nothing good anyway. But I am gonna go for the Recover. Now I'm thinking, okay, this is a great point where I can get my Calm Minds up, because there's nothing he has that can hurt me, and then the Drain Punch comes through, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck happened? Pangoro's Scrappy. Scrappy. Pangoro is... It shares the types of Scrafty, but it is not Scrafty. It has Scrappy. So Sableye did not like that. I totally forgot that was a thing. If I ever even knew. But we're going into Rhyperior. He predicted the switch. It was a good prediction. Hits me with a knockoff, and our lefties are gone. And I know I can survive one Drain Punch. The question was, do I kill it, or do I put my rocks up? It was such a tough decision, and I was like, you know what? 3 of his team is weak to rocks. He doesn't have anything that can get entry hazards away. We're just gonna go for the Stealth Rocks, and I hope we can get there. So Rhyperior does go down. That's unfortunate. I had high hopes for this thing coming into the season, and right now, its differential's like -2. But I'm working some stuff in. Rhyperior's gonna get there. Dildozer will have its comeuppance, so you wait and see. We're gonna go in the Top Gun. First time I have this Swellow, and I've been really just itching to use it. But Top Gun's coming in, and we're gonna scare out the Pangoro. I wanted to go for the Brave Bird just to A, get off our Toxic Orb. B, if I did go for something else and he called my bluff, I wanted to kill the Pangoro. C, Facade wasn't a thing yet. And D, to just get heavy damage off on something. So Crest is coming out. And I know a Facade would have killed it, but to be perfectly honest, the U-turn was my best bet, because Swellow was... Depending on what he was going to come into, I did have a safe switch and I couldn't afford to sack Swellow off. So we had to let the Cresselia live one more turn. We do go for the U-turn, because I was really hoping he wouldn't go for the Moonlight. We went back into Dragalge. I know this is already bad. We're back at turn 1, unfortunately. But he goes for another Moonlight. And I actually go for the Dragon Pulse, just so I can keep hitting him without having my special attack reduced. And you're gonna see here, it really doesn't matter, because it doesn't even do half. He can continue to Calm Mind, he can continue to Moonlight. The most I could hope for is to wear down his Moonlights before it turned into anything serious. But past that point, his special stats were already too high. Dragalge probably died in the it wasn't worth it. It really wasn't worth it. I shouldn't even have gone for the second hit, to be honest, but I like to live dangerously, and I was really hoping for that crit. And I knew he wasn't going to attack, so I felt like it was no harm done. But we're going to switch out there, go back into Emily. Keep in mind, we've only got 1 death so far. He goes to the Moonlight, which, you know, that's predictable. You got to keep your crest alive. But I believe he does predict the Toxic here. Let's find out, because I am talking way too quickly to keep up with this video. Yeah, he does predict the Toxic, goes into the Mega Venusaur. And I predicted the switch, so we actually go for the Wish, which is unheard of. I don't even like Wish. I use it as little as physically possible, because I can never get the timing right. But I know he's not going to go for the Giga Drain. There's no point in going for a Giga Drain against Blissey. He'd have to go for the Sludge Bomb just to try to get the poison off if he was going to keep it in. Turns out he does keep it in. And he goes for Sludge Bomb, and I'm like, oh my god, that's perfect. Sludge Bomb is not going to kill Mega Sableye from this range. He does get the poison off, which is a real bummer. But the Wish comes in, and all of our health is back, and that's just spectacular. So I've been trying to pull off this strategy with Mega Sableye forever now. The whole Calm Mind and Jazz Recover stuff. I should stop doing that. Excuse me. But Mr. Smiley comes in, and I am not about to keep Sableye in for that. He's going for the U-turn. I didn't expect that, honestly. I thought he'd go for the Flare Blitz. He's going to bounce right out of there. And I'm thinking, oh my god, Cresselia again is going to come out. So it does, unfortunately. But I'm like, oh my god, wait, it doesn't have a Calm Mind up. He bounced in the Cresselia. He told me that this was a misplay, which I can completely believe, to be honest. Because this is too early in the game to let Cresselia get sacked. Which, I'm sorry, that misclick really does suck, because he said he meant to send in Pangoro, which would have been a much better sack off, but, you know, it happens. So Kyurem's coming in here, and I'm thinking, I have no switching for this guy. I didn't bring Fortress. My Viria's already dead. I have no idea what it has. He's going for a Dragon Claw, and that is a dead Dragalge, and honestly, if something had to go, it probably should have been Sableye, but Dragalge also wasn't super important at this moment. So he's going to switch out, probably expecting the Will-O-Wisp, and I'm very okay with that. I have not even brought Will-O-Wisp on the Sableye at all. Goes into Tropical Venusaur, and we are just going to go for the Dazzling Gleam. I really thought he was going to hit me. Honestly, I thought he was going to hit me. But he switched out. He now knows I have the Dazzling Gleam, so it's going to be less effective to keep Kyurem in there. Which I know, Dazzling is only going to do 30% anyway, but still, it's damage. He's going for that Giga Drain, and that hurts. That's so much. So we're going to start going for Calm Minds now. And I'm hoping we can Calm Mind Protect enough to make it effective. Another strategy I had for the Sableye was Calm Mind, Rest, Sleep Talk, Shadow Ball. Which I probably should have done, but, you know, hindsight 2020. We are going to go for the recover here. This is, I'm sorry, I know this is a very stally match, but we both kind of had to do what we had to do just to keep our mons alive. But he's going to switch out there, and I honestly didn't know what he was going to do. He goes back into Mr. Smiley as I recover to get all my health back. And I'm like, okay, well, this isn't too bad. I'll go for the Shadow Ball. If he wants to U-turn, someone's going to get hit really hard. Or he'll just die. Both are fine. So he goes with the Flare Blitz. Mr. Magoo tries to block with his diamond, doesn't work out too well. We go down to 39 health, but the Shadow Ball is coming to his face, and that's a dead Darmanitan, and I'm thinking, okay, cool, that's a Scarfer down, but 2 Scarfers are not unheard of, so I have no idea what that Kieran Black has. I really had no idea. That thing was a big concern for my team. Mega Venusaur's coming back out, and at this point, there's no use in keeping Sableye alive. He got a kill, but 20 health on poison damage, there was no point. We just had to sack him off there. So we're going to bring in Top Gun, and I wasn't really sure what to do here. I thought he was going to switch because a Brave Bird does one-hit KO Mega Venusaur. So I predicted the switch, going in U-turn, and he stays in, and I'm like, oh my god, why, dude? Just switch out. We're going to go back into Emily, who can pretty much just wall this thing 5 ends from Tuesday, even if we get poisoned. So Emily's sitting pretty, she's bobbing back and forth, you know, doing her thing. So this is where he calls out the Venusaur, and goes back into the Pangoro, and Blissey doesn't want that. So I figure, okay, he's gonna switch to the Pangoro. We should double switch as well, because that'll be fun. So we're gonna get Blissey right back out of there, and bring Top Gun right back in. And at this point, this is a fantastic point to just kill something. Anything that wants to be on his end of the field is dead right now. So Pangoro's going down. I think he knew that, which is why he sacked off Pangoro in the first place. If something had to die on his team, it may as well have been Pangoro. Everything else he has alive right now is potentially very important. So I didn't want to count out the fact that he was running dual Scarfers, and Galvantula was one of them. So I just wanted to back out of there. I needed Top Gun to be safe, because it was outspeeding everything if Kieran Black wasn't Scarfed. So he's going to go for the Thunder, which kind of, at this point, all I had left was Swellow, Greninja, and Blissey. So Blissey is really the only thing keeping anything on my team alive right now. It's just a matter of, can we do it? So he's hitting us with Thunders, and Blissey just does not care until the Paralysis comes into play. So we're paralyzed, she starts Seismic Tossing, and this thing's a monster, man. If I could count the amount of damage that Blissey's done through Seismic Toss, it might be more than any other Pokemon I have. So he goes for the Sticky Webs. I wasn't really sure why, considering Blissey's not outspeeding anything. And, as well as a Flyer. I guess to slow down the Greninja, but I guess damage probably, I don't know, it's just my opinion. But he is going to go for one last Thunder before the Seismic Toss comes in. And that is a dead Galvantula. I was so happy that there were no hacks, well, no pair hacks to this point in the game, because it was very well done. So this is what I was worried about. He goes into the Kieran Black. And I'm thinking, okay, depending on what his item is, I'm dead. I'm just dead, depending on the item. If he did bring 2 Scarfers, that's game for me. I am surprised that Blissey didn't die here. Unfortunately, the hacks does kick in at that moment when I was going to go for the Wish, but it really doesn't matter, honestly. Because then I'd have to count on it again to use the Protect, and it'd just be so much. Then I'd have to count on it again after that to use the Seismic. It wasn't worth it. Blissey was dying regardless. It had to happen. Going to Top Gun, I have all fingers and toes crossed that we were faster, and this Facade is going to come right into What's Up's face, and that is not something I thought I'd ever see. A Swellow killing a Kieran Black. But, he's gonna go back into Tropical to Mega Venusaur. This is his last mon. I was actually... I thought, you know, there might be something, but we're just gonna go for the Brave Bird regardless. And Mega Venusaur goes down. Swellow was such a champion this match. First weekend, and I got half the kills. But I'm so glad I picked this thing up on the free agency. Bearchick wasn't doing anything for this team. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Corey, thanks for the battle. That was really intense. Like, that really, like, had me pumped for a while. But you will find his link down below, his Twitter, his YouTube, jazz, whatnot channel. Yeah. So, guys, keep rooting. We are at 4-1 right now with +5 differential. So at this point, we are tied for the top. I think it'll be official at the end of this week because of the couple of you who haven't battled yet. Anyway, hit that like, make sure to hit that sub. I will be back soon because I've been really itching to play Fire Emblem, and I am looking into a playthrough of Glazed. I know everyone's played Glazed, but I figure if I'm going to play it, I have to be on my computer, and at that point, why not just record it? We'll probably make a Nuzlocke out of it. But yeah, guys, thank you. Have a great night.